Thank you very much, Jeff. Jeff Zais from
Yes.
NIWA.
Mhm.
And I'm really happy to have NIWA as one of the sponsors,
Yes.
particularly New Zealand sponsors of this little event. But we have been doing it for 10 years. And I wonder what brought you and NIWA to support us? What makes Multicore World different?
Yeah. For us, we looked at the program this year, and it's very much like other years where we really have a really interesting group of people, both from New Zealand, but especially from overseas, coming in, and to get that quality of speakers and people who you can socialize with in a very friendly environment. That's really a unique opportunity. So actually, it wasn't myself; it was some of my other colleagues said, "Oh, let's see if we can act as a sponsor and have a whole bunch of people going." Because the last time we held before the pandemic,
Correct.
I think I might have been the only delegate from NIWA.
Yeah, and probably
but-
only from the government.
yeah, but this time we looked at the list of speakers and said, oh, let's have a big delegation. So we sent four.
Yeah,
We
no,
brought four
I,
this
I
year.
really appreciate that. And in that topic, precisely, we will have a panel now about how to bridge the gap between that next generation science, exascale, zetascale computing, and actual applications that we can have, particularly for the New Zealand environment.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that was the theme of my talk. Really was, it is really, I'll say, inspirational and interesting to hear about how we're at exascale going to the next size
Iteration.
and such. But it's a long bridge that you have to build to get down to the scale of a modest size country of 5 million. But we're doing some very interesting things at NIWA with the size systems that we.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm learning all the different applications. Obviously, we've got our weather forecast 4 times a day, and that was very important with the storm
events of the
Gabrielle
week.
moving through. But even more important with that we combine that analysis with a bunch of the NIWA instrumentation that's maintained out in the field, measuring stream flows and water, all kinds of things, and making weather predictions about storm flows. So we've got a good contract to provide information to the emergency services here in the country, so they can help with the response as well. So that's some of the. I also get in touch with. Different scientists. We're doing a lot of climate studies about how since we're once again a small country, it's not like we can push the needle that far on where the climate is going to go, but we can sure adapt our country, and so being able to make those predictions, that's a
Now-
big usage. And one more,
no,
one more,
please go.
one more that I work on a lot. The fishery studies,
Yes.
fish population studies to manage the catch of properly of the fish. All that happens on our systems as well. So yes, we got this whole varied workload.
Are you familiar with Destination Earth, the Destiny project of European Union?
I have heard about that, and we've actually been studying that. One of the cool things that NIWA did was look to the future a little bit, and instead of just having these older style simulations running, we're also now employing about 8 or 10 data scientists or people with artificial intelligence, machine learning expertise, and they're looking at things like this Destination Earth and the ever popular subject of the conference here, digital twins,
Yes,
and how
yes.
that
Well,
that
because
can
I
be
mean, I
used,
brought
yeah.
it because I had conversations with the people at the European Center of Medium Weather Forecast, which I have finally learned how to read
Yeah,
that
yeah.
acronym. And they are, I mean, my entry into that conversation is through our background in the SKA.
Right.
So at the computational scale, they plan to do digital twins of the Earth
Right.
for weather modeling. Now, my positive challenge to them is that, okay, you have all these massive data points. First, it's a massive challenge, but secondly, it's mostly looked from the Northern Hemisphere point of view.
Yeah.
And it was at SC. I literally asked them in front of the audience, okay, how are we provide you information from the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah.
It was an interesting dialogue, but the open question is, which is the underlying platform that will allow these two things to coexist?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, we do have to. I mean, we have to go global. We here in New Zealand, because there are so many big things, really big things, like this Destination Earth happening. Our work really happens with the unified model from
Yes.
the UK Met Office,
Yes.
and they're buying systems that are enormous, and so they're able to have a much more accuracy and resolution all over the globe. We still can take our little region and have a finer grid, finer mesh, and have more accurate answers. But we have to be able to work together with a number of these bigger organizations, and in the U.S., we have collaborations there as well. I think one encouraging part, really, for us here in New Zealand is, there was just the announcement. I think we're plugging into some European source of funding.
Yes,
and
New Zealand
services,
it's now an associate member of Horizon 2020 or something similar
Yeah.
in terms of associate member for funding.
Yeah, so we're a long way from Europe,
Yeah,
12
but-
hours around the globe, but then we're closer than ever, really.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
actually that's, we spent a lot of time at the conference here talking about networks.
Yes,
And
yes.
and both local on your computer, but global networks as well. And we have to start taking even more advantage of that. Obviously, we're working in a global sense.
A final
already.
question. Destiny is thinking about resolutions at 1 kilometer or something.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a lower resolution going down to plant level or cow level? Is that desirable? Is that possible?
I mean, we've seen different vendors who say that out by the year 2050, it's that size of that table, it's a meter,
Right,
and
right.
that's incredible to think of, having been in this industry back a couple decades.
That's
But
why I'm asking.
we might be going, but
yeah.
we will have the compute power to do that,
Yeah.
and so we have to be able to, I'll say, justify that, or how much better will that be? So.
Interesting
I mean,
times.
that's yeah, it is. It's we have all this great computing power in whatever device or a room,
Yeah, yeah.
and we've got to continue to find ways to use it. So that's why it's really fun to
Yeah.
engage in conversation with the real leaders.
I really
Much
want
like
to
this,
thank
yeah.
again you and NIWA for supporting Multicore World, and
Yep.
I cordially invite you to the ongoing collaboration. Thank you very much.
Great. Yep. Good to see you.